This is the new Ender 3 V3 SE that Creality was nice enough to send over for me to check out. And here's everything out of the box, which is mostly pre-assembled. And from the look of it, it has a pretty sleek new design, with it a decent amount of plastic injection molded pieces. It also comes with a CR touch for auto bed leveling, and they're using a different type of aluminum extrusion for this that seems to be a lot less material, and this just kind of slots into the base. This does have dual lead screws running off of one stepper motor, and they're connected to one another at the top with a belt. And the assembly of this printer is really straightforward and easy. All of the hardware is labeled and it comes with all the tools needed to do this. This does have a pretty nice color screen that kind of looks like it would be a touchscreen, but it's not, unfortunately. So you'll have to use the click and wheel to navigate and click on things. But navigation is pretty smooth and quick. And the first thing I need to do is set up the auto bed leveling. And to do this, it's pretty simple. You just click on leveling and it basically takes care of everything else on its own. And this will basically probe the bed in 16 different places, and this will build a mesh for it to work off of. And you can see all the different values on the screen right here. There's also a strain sensor on the bed itself, and this allows the machine to actually set its own Z offset, so you don't have to worry about messing with that. And it seems like it works pretty well. I just started to print right after that, and it seems to be working fine. And this is just a sample file that came with the machine. And overall, it looks like it printed out pretty nice. And this does have a flexible magnetic plate, but the material on here sticks a little too well to PLA sometimes. And this was printed in the Hyper Series PLA from Creality. So I did another print in a matte filament, and it stuck way too much to the build plate. And really, I just don't like this build surface material at all. So I really suggest switching this out to a textured PEI build plate. And you could pick up aftermarket ones for pretty cheap, but you will have to do a modification to make them fit, which is just removing these two screws on the back. And as you can see, this just fits as normal, but you just have no alignment guides. And as I was making this video, I actually found some at the same price that have the cutouts. So that would be totally up to you, and I'll have links to everything I show in this video in the description below. And here's that same green material printing on the new sheet, and you can see it just pops right off. And this is just one piece of a multi-piece print that I'm doing in a bunch of different filaments. And this is mostly to see how well everything goes together and what the accuracy is like on this machine. And after printing everything out and assembling it, it looks like everything works properly. So the print accuracy is pretty spot on. And the print quality is not bad as well, but these are pretty small parts, so I thought I'd print something a bit bigger. So I'm going to make a drawer for under my desk. That takes up almost the entire print bed, and using the flexible plate on this, it's really easy to get off. But if we take a look at the bottom of this, it's not exactly perfectly flat, so I might need to manually adjust the Z offset a little bit for this new plate. But as it is, this is totally usable, and I really do like to be able to make functional prints. So this printer is using a direct drive system, so it should be able to print TPU pretty easily. And after this pretty simple test, it looks like it does a great job at it actually. And when it came to slicing this, I just used Creality Print Slicer and just used the default settings for TPU. This printer does have some limitations when it comes to materials it can actually use, so PLA, PETG, and TPU are pretty much it. And this is mostly due to the printer not having an all-metal hot end, and only having a maximum print temp of 260 degrees Celsius. But you're still getting a lot of printer, especially compared to the original Ender 3, and especially at its price point of only $200. And honestly, this would be a great first printer, because it has a lot of stuff on it that eliminates a lot of the problems that people have when they first start out, like leveling it or getting the proper Z offset. And it's definitely not the fastest printer in the world, but it's definitely quite a bit faster than the original Ender 3. So if you're looking for a low-cost printer that's also really easy to use, you might want to look into getting one of these. Well, I think that's about it for this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll try to get back to you. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.